Alright, it's the day of the festival. Preparations for the event should be nearly complete given all the work everyone's put in over the weekend. I managed to carry all the cupcakes myself by carefully stacking 4 trays in a box. Natsuki is already texting up a storm, but I can't respond thanks to my hands being full. I smiled, putting my phone away. Her personality even shows through her texts. Funnily enough, I probably feel the same way as Natsuki about the event. I'm more excited for it to be over so I can spend time with Natsuki at the festival. But knowing Monika, I'm sure the event will be great too. It's been a while though. Where's Sayori? We're meant to walk together, but she's late again. I don't want to leave her behind, but if she takes much longer, I'm going to be late for school. More time passes. There's going to be a moment of decision soon if she doesn't arrive. Just as I'm getting ready to leave, I finally spot her slowly making her way down the street. She's carrying a large sack in her hands and I'm surprised she isn't running over to me. Isn't she aware of how late she is? Well, she's carrying something heavy. Sayori, where have you been? Getting a bit late for school. I know, I'm sorry. I overslept again? I couldn't decide what to have for breakfast again. She immediately pouts. You're such a meanie sometimes. You know my teasing's all in good fun, right? She mumbles something under her breath. Of course. It looks like she's back to her normal self again, a definite relief. Thank goodness. And let's just hope it stays that way. I felt a little guilty not spending Sunday with her, but then again, it was probably wise to give her space. Again, Natsuki also needed help. I point to the sack she's carrying, which contains an assortment of colorful little gift bags. Are those the gift bags you were working on over the weekend? Yep. I managed to get everything we need. Candy, quotes, and bookmarks. It was all in good fun. Although it was kinda hard to stop myself from eating the sweets. And did you manage it? People won't notice if a sweet or two goes missing, right? I can't help but laugh. That's just a Sayori thing to say and do. I'm glad you're feeling better today, Sayori. And I'm sorry if I was a bit too invasive on Friday. I just worry a lot, that's all. It's okay, Midas, it really is. It's sweet that you were concerned. But yeah, I'm fine. It was just a little rain cloud. Although I'm kinda nervous for the festival. Honestly, I don't blame you for that. It's kinda nerve-wracking, isn't it? I mean, I know how much it means to Monika, but at the same time, I didn't really realize how intimidating poetry to a bunch of strangers can be. Yeah, I was all for it back at the club room, but now the actual day is here. She looks a little nervous. I reach over and give her a squeeze on the shoulder. It'll be fine, don't you worry. I know how much you like poetry plus your poems are great. I just hope my own performance is up to standard. Oh, don't be silly, Midas. I love your poem, I just know it. I chuckle, admiring the definitive optimism that really makes Sayori. Guess we'll find out. By the way, are you doing anything after the festival? Anything fun? Nope. I haven't really planned that far ahead. I'm not great doing that anyway. I'm kinda hoping we finish early so we can have the rest of the day off, to be honest. So what you're really saying is that you want to go home and sleep, right? Oh, look how many students there are! How many clubs are having their own little event today? What a tactical change of topic that was. Our school is inside and there's a lot of students milling around. It's a little strange to think that there's so many fellow students around. Yet I've been feeling so lonely. Or at least before joining the club. Times like these make me grateful that Sayori told me about the club in the first place. I don't know, probably quite a few. By the way, Sayori. What's up, Midas? I just wanted to say, no matter how this festival goes, I'm really grateful you told me about your club and let me join. I've had a lot of fun so far. I scratched the back of my head nervously as Sayori looks curiously at me. I've never been good at expressing myself, and it probably shows. I guess what I'm trying to say is, thank you, it's been so much fun being able to spend time with you again, too. It really takes me back. You don't have to thank me for anything, silly, I've enjoyed it too. After all, it would be lovely if things could go back to how they were used to. What do you mean? Oh, nothing. Strange choice of words. What could she mean by this? As we enter the courtyard and make our way to the meeting room, she breaks the silence by giggling. Something funny? I've just thought of a way to steal one of Natsuki's cupcakes without her realizing. I'm carrying them right now, so please don't even try. Are you sure that's a good idea? Natsuki might be a little, but you know better than I do that she can be really fiery. Oh, don't you worry about her. She might seem mean on the outside, but she's harmless. Don't let her fool you. She's just adorable. Well, I'd rather her than me. Alright. Let's see how this one goes, considering... Wait. I'm gonna have to choose Natsuki in their argument this time. Because if I don't choose Natsuki, well, I'm pretty certain that something bad will happen. Because even if Monika is right in the situation, I hope that there'll be like where Natsuki realizes that she's wrong, because I don't know, that's probably just my moral compass. Alright. You guys want to check out the pamphlets? They came out really nice. Yeah, sure. I put down the trays of cupcakes I'm holding and grabbed one of the pamphlets laid on the desk. Yeah, they really did. They look pretty! Something like this will definitely help people take the club more seriously. I thought so too. I flipped through the pages. Each member's poem is neatly printed on its own page, giving it an almost professional feel. I recognized the girls' poems from the ones they performed during our practice. Just then, Natsuki burst into the room, her bag swinging wildly. Yuri trails in behind her, carrying a rolled up banner in a large duffel bag. Alright, it's festival time! Wow, you guys got here before me? I thought that was pretty early. Yeah, sorry for being the last one here. I'm glad that some preparation is already underway though. It should take less time to set everything up this way. Yeah, let's work hard together, everyone! Midas. Yes, madame. I jumped at the sudden outburst. Yes? Where are the cupcakes? Don't tell me you forgot them. Is it normal to be scared by a tiny underclassman girl? I mentally shake myself. I really gotta get it together. Relax, they're right here. Just hold on a minute. I step over to where I put down the cupcakes and begin unpacking the trays. You laid them out so messily. Quite the bossy little princess, huh? If you don't mind, Sayori, can you help me with these? Yuri gestures at her bag, which Sayori nods cheerfully. I help Natsuki with the cupcakes while Yuri and Sayori start putting up decorations. Meanwhile, Monika continues putting down pamphlets. It isn't long before Natsuki has carefully rearranged the cupcakes in a neat formation. Looks pretty good, if I say so myself. I'd have to agree, we make a pretty good team. Yeah. Hey Midas, next time we do something like this, I can carry some trays too. It's totally fine with me, and my arms are longer too after all, so I can carry more. Still, we're a team, aren't we? I gotta carry my weight too. I'm not some helpless damsel in distress, you know. Or a helpless soju mango heroine. Oh my goodness. Alright, Mr. Kenneth. As I laugh, I glance over at Sayori and Yuri. They've put up a banner with an inspirational quote written on the colorful gradient of the colors of the sky. The good writer possesses not only his spirit but also the spirit of his friends. And that's a quote by the German philosopher. Frederick, I still haven't searched how to pronounce your last name. He's had some very interesting thoughts, although there are some that I don't quite agree with. Oh, I think I've heard of him, and thank goodness you're talking to me, because the last time we tried to talk to you, we were very upset. As usual, Yuri outclasses me with her intellect. It seems that they've also hung up a curtain of origami paper tied to ribbons in the doorway. Upon close inspection, each paper has a different kanji character written on it. Hey, it looks like you did something similar to Natsuki with your kanji curtain. Is that so? I have to take a look at what she's done after I finish setting up. She gestures to a few candles and a wooden cylinder-shaped object. Yuri said that it's an essential oil diffuser. Yes, it's for aromatherapy. One of my favorite contributors to a positive atmosphere. I'm excited to see how it works later. It looks like all the preparations are almost finished now. It feels like there's something missing though. Suddenly I notice a large bag sitting forlornly by itself to the side. And that's Sayori's, isn't it? Sayori, did you forget to set up your part? I did. She rushes over to the bag and quickly empties it out. It's full of small colorful bags tied shut with thin ribbons. Don't worry, I'll help you. You start organizing the goodie bags in neat rows on desks closest to the door. I peek inside one of them as we do. You can take a bag if you want. Inside the bag, I find candy stickers, inspirational quotes from poems on some sort of cardstock, and bookmarks. Looks like there's a good mix of things in here. I chose only the best candy for the festival. And the best quotes. The best bookmarks as well. You betcha. We laugh as we finish our task. I take a bag, fish out candy, and pop it into my mouth. Sayur really does have good taste. The chocolate and toffee seems to melt on my tongue. Can I have one too, Midas? I can't resist those puppy dog eyes. Thanks, you're the best. Here we go. Let's just hope that's something not bad. Like, I just hope not worse, at least. Is it about time to start yet? Almost. We wrote that we're starting at 10 AM on our posters, and that's in 10 minutes. People are actually gonna show up for this. Don't be so negative. Some people have shown up already, and I'm sure that more will file in soon. You guys don't have to be worrying so much about it. I've got full faith in all of you. I've seen all of your poems. It's been amazing watching each and every one of you find and nurture your unique writing styles. She smiles encouragingly at each of us. To her credit, her words are helpful even though I haven't been part of this club for as long as the other three. Even Midas? Natsuki! It was just a joke. Geez, some humor would lighten the mood. Sorry. Just trying to make sure everyone's in the best frame of mind before we start. It's okay, Monika. We all appreciate and understand that. Yeah, we know how much this club means to you. I want to be part of it. I want to be a success just as much as you do. Couldn't have put it better myself. Even though I've only been in the club for a few days, I really felt at home. Truth be told, I used to be lonely. Knowing that I'm included in something with you guys always makes me feel better. I haven't told anyone about how lonely I've been feeling. A little nervous about how they'll react. They all turn to me, varying degrees of emotion on their faces. Natsuki impassively looks to the side, while Sayuri and Yuri give me expressions of concern. Midas, I had no idea you felt that way. I'm sorry, I really hope we can change that. But I'm so happy you feel welcome here too. It's exactly what we wanted. I agree. No one should feel alone. I know it's quite difficult to experience. I feel a warm flush of gratitude at their words. Thanks, guys. That means a lot. Also, Monika, I told Sayuri this earlier and I figured you might appreciate hearing this. Well, no matter how the festival goes, I just wanted to thank all of you. Thanks to you guys, that lonely feeling has disappeared. You've all been so welcoming and accepting, and believe me, I really appreciate that. So even if this event doesn't go as planned, just know that I really love it here and I'm so glad Sayuri told me about this club. If others don't like what we have here, it's their loss. The girls nod in agreement, smiling at me. I had no idea my words would have such impact, but I'm glad they did. It feels so rewarding to be able to give back to the club. Monika turns to me, eyes shining with appreciation. Thanks, Midas. You're right. Hearing those words from a newcomer really makes me feel like I've succeeded in my goals as president. After all, I wanted to create a place where people can feel comfortable and share literature. And what you've just said makes me feel like it was all worth it. She turns to face the others. See, guys? If you could show Midas how amazing this club is, who's to say we can't show the other students the same thing? Don't see them as strangers. See them as potential club members. She's definitely got an inspiring way with her words. Good thinking, Monika. What's the worst that could happen? We disband? Yeah. But if they say anything about my cupcakes, I'm gonna kill them. Yuri giggles softly. I won't lie to you. I'm still quite nervous. And after hearing what you've said, Midas, I realized there might be other lonely people out there. This club would be a perfect place for them. Yeah, you might find even more manga enthusiasts. That's the spirit. Now let's go and show the rest of the school just what the literature club is made of. And as if on cue, a few people wander into the room. Monika confidently walks over and greets. And so it begins. I'm low-key nervous about what will happen if I did choose Natsuki. I should do some extra practice as well. Before I can do so, Monika heads towards us. It's Sayori and Toll. Showtime, everyone. Let's do this, guys. Time to get this over with. I can do this. We group up and stand together at the front of the room. Monika steps up to the podium and clears her throat. Okay, everyone. Welcome to the Literature Club's performance. My name is Monika, as some of you may know. Some girls sitting near the front of the classroom wave at her. And I'm the president of this club. Accompanying me is my vice president, Sayori. Hi guys! And the rest of our club members, Yuri, Natsuki, and last but not the least, Midas. We all wave back at the students. I hope that you'll all enjoy our poetry and will be able to help contribute to a memorable festival. Literature is amazing in its ability to connect us to the human condition, and we really hope that this event will help encourage others to start participating. Our club will gladly welcome any new members, from those who love words and writing, to anyone who's simply just curious and wants to learn more. After scheduled performances, we'll be opening up the stage for anyone else who wants to perform, so don't be shy. Without further ado, I'll be starting with my poem. Sayori, Natsuki, Yuri, and I head off to settle down to the frontmost desk, saving the seat at the end for Monika. She stands there, alone yet radiating confidence. After flashing a smile and a wink at us, she begins. Each word is crystal clear and exudes emotion. Somehow her recitation is even better than it was only a few days ago. She must have practiced hard to try and achieve perfection. The classroom is silent at first, drinking in her words. After a few moments, however, some whispering starts up in the back of the room. I guess that's inevitable, but still doesn't make it any less annoying. I exchange a look at Natsuki, who rolls her eyes at the disruptions. Sayori pats my hand and gives me an encouraging smile. As Monika's poem progresses, more and more people wander in. Normally this would be a good thing, but they're making a lot of noise. Thankfully, they simmer down once they realize Monika's speaking. She reaches the end of the poem, the last few words resonating in the room. A round of applause fills the room and Monika beams at everyone, patiently waiting for them to finish. Thank you for listening, everyone. I hope you enjoyed my poem and that it gave you a flavor of what the club is like. For newcomers, welcome. We're just in the midst of showing you all our poems. For the benefit of those who have just joined, she quickly reintroduces everyone. Anyway, next up is Natsuki. Take it away. Alright, it's best girl time. It doesn't help that someone snickers, causing her to turn to glare at them. Sayori seems to notice too. She hastens to shoot Natsuki a reassuring smile. Natsuki stands in front of the club room with her poem in hand. Slight traces of irritation still visible. So my poem's called Jump. She takes a deep breath and begins her recital. Just as I was hoping, she's able to inject her trademark bouncy style into her performance, bringing the words to life. She doesn't quite radiate the same confidence Monika did, but her unique style shines through. It's simple, but effective. My heart sinks as I start picking up on the newcomers having their own conversation in the back of the room. I'm hit with a surge of anger. How can they be so inconsiderate? It's clear that they aren't paying any attention, and from the pause and change of Natsuki's tone, she's clearly picked up on it as well. Why can't they just save their own stupid, selfish conversations for after their performances? Her poem comes to an end, but unlike Monika's, there's a slight, awkward moment of silence. Once again, there's a round of applause, but it's clear that the audience engagement isn't quite as strong. And where's the music? Natsuki forces a smile and makes her way back to her seat. It's clear that she's upset. Anyway, our Vice President Sayori is next to perform. Hi everyone! I hope you all like my poem. She cheerily skips up to the front, poem in hand. As she turns to face us, she looks a little nervous, fidgeting slightly. Sorry, I'm a little nervous. I'm nervous. Where's the music? It's okay, Sayori. Just remember what we practiced. I've got full faith in you. You got this. This one's called My Meadow. Okay, there it goes. but it's the distorted one. Her soft voice guides us through the recital, and there's a remarkable contrast between her cheerful inflection and the more bittersweet nature of the words. At the corner of my eye, I noticed people casually flicking cupcake wrappers onto the floor along with candy wrappers lying on tables. Worse still, the talking is getting louder and more noticeable. Monika looks at the perpetrators, frowning at them. One of the students let out a loud yawn, making absolutely no effort to hide it. Another student picks up on one of the coats and nudges their friend. They both frown and laugh at the message, and I get the horrible feeling it's more of the mocking kind of laugh. At this point, I'm seeing red. If you weren't at school, I would have punched these inconsiderate pricks by now. No one should be this rude to Sayori, or to anyone for that matter. She's probably the sweetest person I've ever met. Despite the now obvious disruptions, she's still trying her best and is making a real effort to continue. To her credit, her performance is still commendable. She manages to work in contrast to her initiation against the words in her favor. It adds an interesting depth to her poem. I'd love to see more of this side to her. She brings her performance to a close, hands shaking slightly. Lovely poem, Sayori. Thank you. Something's off with her voice. Just like how she was on Friday. Oh no. Monika stands up, turning to address everyone in the room. It's a polite reminder that it would be much appreciated if everyone could just give our poets some respect while they're performing. Monika looks stern, while Natsuki looks furious. Thank you. Now the stage is all yours, Yuri. Oh god. He's looking terrified at this point. You've got this, Yuri. Just pretend like it's only me, Natsuki, Sayori, and Monika. I can't do this, Midas. Yes, you can. I believe in you. I've seen the passion that you can become when you talk about Portrait of Markov. I love that. I love seeing that side of you. Besides, like you said, this club would be a perfect place for any of these people. Just don't know it yet. She swallows nervously, nodding at my words. Okay, thank you. She rises to her feet, palm clasped firmly to her chest and avoiding eye contact with everyone else as she walks up. Her eyes flick up to glance at the club room, where she gets on stage, although she quickly ducks her head back down. This poem is called After Image of the Crimson Eye. Her voice quivers as she starts, but unlike her recitation a few days ago, the meek and trembling version of Yuri remains into her poem. She determinedly forges ahead, but I can tell she's not enjoying it in the slightest. The rest of the class are momentarily subdued by Monika's words, soon begins to grow louder. After a few lines of her poem, I hear even more unruly noises. The crinkling of wrappers fills the air, and at a few points Yuri is almost drowned out by the other's voice. I catch a few people getting up and leaving the room, and by the slight hitch in her voice it seems that Yuri seems to see him as well. Her eyes stay glued to her poem now, and it looks like she's trying her hardest to ignore everyone. One boy quietly wolf whistles at ha ha ha, causing her to jump and lower her head even more. She's practically shaking like a leaf. This is absolutely disgusting behavior, and I open my mouth to say something. Suddenly, Natsuki stands up, a loud scraping noise from her pushing away from the desk draws attention from the students. Can you all just shut up? I'm really sick of this. How can you guys be so rude? We're trying our best to show you something amazing here, and you're just gonna stomp all over hard work like that? Unbelievable. I can't even understand how people can be this arrogant. And just plain terrible. I didn't want to interrupt you, but I just can't stand this anymore. You idiots might as well leave if you aren't even gonna pretend to pay attention. There's a complete silence for a beat. Only came here for the food anyway. Let's go, guys. It's stated that this is Natsuki's classmate, so are we gonna see more of him? Like, I think that'll be the case. Once this boy speaks up and begins to lead his friends away, one by one more students start to follow them. I throw a panicked look over to Monika, who's holding a strange stiff expression on her face. Looks like she's struggling to stay calm. After a few moments, there's barely anyone left. Yuri meanwhile quietly begins speaking again, but her voice is barely audible. There's just a stifling silence accompanying her words. When she finishes, a weak smattering of applause sounds from the few who are left. She unsteadily steps down from the stage, a blank look on her face. She won't look at any of us either. okay? Monika's voice cracks as she speaks up. She's still trying her best to see us through this. I don't think any of us could have predicted that it would turn out this way. Thank you, Yuri. You did wonderfully. I'm sincerely sorry for all the disruptions and sheer aggrants you had to endure. Those kinds of people are really the worst. To those who are left, I want to thank you all for staying and apologize as well. It's definitely not a normal occurrence for the club, I assure you. Well, let's finish this off with Midas. With a heavy heart, I slowly get up and walk onto the stage. When I get to the podium, I'm appalled by the sight of the classroom. Wrappers are strewn across the floor, and code cards lay tossed about, with many of the cards now featuring shoe marks. The remnants of bags are left ripped apart on desks. Even the kanji curtain looks tangled up and messy. God. The only students left here are the ones who waved to Monika. This is what Yuri had to see during her while she was reciting her poem. No wonder she didn't want to look up and face these people. Can you really do this now? How are the others even able to finish? And look at the clock, it's only been 20 minutes! Taking a shaky breath, I begin to speak. Hi everyone, I'd like to take a second to apologize, both to those checking out the club today and those who are already in it. But despite everything that's happened, I can say that I'm glad that everyone joined. And that I joined, since I've got to meet so many amazing people. I believe that you guys will love it as much as I did too. Anyhow, I hope you'll all enjoy Acquainted in the Night. I start reading and I'm once struck again by the beauty of the poem. The loneliness and isolation conveyed so accurately. I can relate to a lot of these feelings. I won't be as good as the others, but I can hope that I'll be able to do the poem justice. Thoughts of doing both the poet and the club proud strengthen my spirit and I manage to fight through the mood. The quiet of the classroom suits the lines of the poem as well, and my recital seems to fly by rather quickly. Excellent performance, Midas. What a great way to round off the event. As I step down from the stage, Monika stands up and addresses the room. Thank you all for coming and staying. I truly appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. That's it for the scheduled recitations, but you guys are free to stay and hang out if you want. There's an awkward silence for a few moments and the remaining students start to stand up. Hey Monika. Oh, and you too, Midas. I didn't know you were in this club. The girl standing before us is actually my classroom's homeroom class representative, Shiori. Given that both she and Monika are class reps, they probably friends. Yeah, I only joined about a week ago, so... I see. Yep. Hey, by the way, you guys were treated... The way you guys were treated was seriously awful. It's fine. Thanks for staying. Either way, sorry about everything, Monika. I'll check out the club sometime. She gives us a small commissionatory smile, and I'm torn between wondering whether everyone's pitying us or just sympathizing with us. They all start to file out the room after a few more goodbyes. Here we go. Monika keeps a strange smile on her face. Meanwhile, Yuri has her head buried in her arms. In contrast, Natsuki is staring straight ahead, gritting her teeth, and Sayuri looks down at her desk. Here we go. To say that there's tension in the air would be a massive understatement. There's silence in the room, made worse by the sense of awkwardness. No one knows what to say. No one expected the festival to end this way, and the impact is hitting us all. So that could have gone better. Seriously. My attempt at humor falls flat and I immediately regret speaking. Natsuki gives me a dirty look, but Sayuri smiles fondly. Meanwhile, it looks like Monika's face has finally fallen. I don't understand. Did it go so wrong, guys? We spent so much time preparing for this, and after all our efforts. For the first time, that outgoing confidence Monika always seemed to radiate has snuffed out. She clearly cared a lot, and I feel awful for her. I don't get it either. I thought you guys did such a good job as well. I'm sorry, Monika. Don't worry about it, Midas. It's not your fault anyway. She smiles weakly at me, glancing around to notice that Yuri and Natsuki seem particularly upset, with Yuri looking absolutely dejected and Natsuki steaming mad. This is your fault, Monika. I told you this was a stupid idea. None of us were even that comfortable with doing it in the first place. Now look where it's landed us. My moral compass is saying that Monika is right, because she is. She asked us, like, what could we do? Like, what else could we do? And we didn't give an idea. My fault? You all agree to this. Pardon me for thinking it would actually go well. What's so wrong about that? We only agreed to do it because we felt like you were forcing us. I was really hoping this wouldn't happen, given everyone's low moods, and the argument is the last thing we need. I didn't force anyone, Natsuki. You know how much this club means to me. I was just excited to show that what we have to the rest of the school. Yeah, because it was such a good idea now, was it? I'm really starting to get sick of your constant sarcasm, you know? Why can't you just try being positive for once in your life? Gee, funny you said that. Because I'm really starting to get sick of your self-righteous know-it-all attitude. We told you this was a bad idea, but no. We just had to insist, even though no one was happy. It was for a reason. Look how much Midas enjoys it here. Is it really so unreasonable to think we could have found someone else like him? Or is it just too positive for you even to fathom? This is awful. The other students were bad enough, and now Monika and Natsuki are going for each other's throats? Look at how badly everyone's humiliated. And when considered all of those... And she struggles for a moment, her anger inhibiting her ability to speak. Those assholes, where do all of us? Didn't they even give a damn about anything we had to say? What did that one prick say? He was all here for food? All of that just for nothing? She angrily kicks one of the desks, a loud noise jolts Yuri, who looks up with tears in her eyes. Please, Natsuki, can you calm down? Don't tell me you're taking her side, Yuri. You had to experience the worst of it. I don't get why you're not mad either. Natsuki, there's no point being angry at Monika. She didn't want this to happen. She had no idea people would react this way. It's bad enough that the students were rude, and I really don't like fighting inside the club itself. Yeah, but if Monika just listened to us when we said we weren't comfortable with this whole idea, this would have never happened. Monika sighs. This is the kind of conflict she genuinely leaves for Sayuri to deal with. Oh god. But in this case, Sayuri looks too distraught to intervene. Look, what you're not understanding is that sometimes you just have to take risks. Sure, this didn't end well, but there's always a chance it wouldn't have ended like this, and we could have had new members. She turns to me. I mean, you of all people can understand that best, right, Midas? You made the choice to come here. Look how much you enjoy it. Oh, don't try to suck up to him, Monika. Face it, you never listen to us, your club members, or take your opinions into account. Tell me you're not alone in thinking that, Midas. Oh no, here it comes. God, this is so hard, but... Sorry, Monika. I really do hate taking sides like this. Monika's the president though, so I hope she won't take this personally. Here we go. Monika, believe me when I say I know this club means a lot to you. I've only been here for a few days and I can already see that. In fact, it means a lot to all of us. Every one of us cares so much for this club, and that we were able to soldier on and keep performing despite all the crap we got. But all to say, perhaps Natsuki has a point. You were clearly the most enthusiastic about this festival out of everyone here. Oh no. She sighs, and it's clear she's frustrated. It wouldn't surprise me if she was disappointed with us either. Well, pardon me for wanting the club to do well. Why was everyone so against it? I didn't even force any of you. You all agreed to your own accords. Exactly. Which is why I'm so worried of choosing Natsuki. I thought you used the weekend to practice. That should have been plenty of time. The way you pushed us into it, it felt like we didn't have a choice. You guys didn't have to agree. Do you not know how to stand up for yourselves? Monika, you know how it is. It's hard enough as it is having to go against your friends. But when your friend has such high expectations for everything on top of that, it's just easy to get swept in trying to keep everyone happy. And on top of that, not everyone here is as outspoken as you. Exactly! But that's not the point anyhow. You did all fine. You all did just fine in your first recitation during a club meeting. Everything should have gone well. It's just that we never could have expected the people would act this way. If the event had been a success, you can bet that this conversation would be happening right now. Well, if we never decided to do anything for the festival, then we wouldn't have had to worry about this crap anyway. But we had to do something for the festival. Do you just want the club to remain stagnant forever? Is this place just supposed to be some hangout for 5 people? There's a fierce fight in those glint eyes now, and I'm almost afraid to speak up. It seems like I'm the only one here who actually wants this club to do well. The only one who strives for greater heights. And how is everyone ever going to see how amazing what we've built is if you never show it to anyone? What's wrong with the club being small? I'd rather have a few people who really care than a ton of idiots who are only here because of your popularity. Yikes! Quality is more important than quantity after all. I'm sure the others would agree on that front as well. Suddenly Monika turns to face me. I won't lie, it's scary having to see the full force of the normally cool-headed and diplomatic leader's temper. Midas, with all due respect, you haven't been here for a week. How would you of all people know what the other members want? Monika, Midas only means well. Saya looks like she's about to say more. Oh god. With one withering look from Monika stops her in her tracks. And I'm sure that many villains throughout history only meant well too. Now, you're just being unfair. No, you know what's really unfair? What's unfair is the fact that I'm the only one who always has to pick up the slack. I'm the one who has to take on the blame for all the mistakes. You think it's easy to live up to everyone's expectations? Although I guess it's too much for you to understand, Natsuki. After all, you always heap the blame onto others and criticize everyone but yourself. Why don't you do some introspection for once in your life? Then you might be able to see why you barely have any— Ah! Yikes! That stings! God! Ah. Oh no. That's the straw that broke the camel's back. The music stopped suddenly and I'm guessing that only means we're going south from here. There's silence for a moment, the silence that lengthens into impossibly long minutes. Oh god. I look towards Yuri and Sayuri for help, but both look understandably shocked by Monika's words. Natsuki's face has grown red and it looks like she's staring to tear up despite her best attempts at looking up a hostile look. Monika on the other hand has turned away so I can't see her face. Yuri, Sayuri and I all exchange a series of looks of expressions as the silence stretches out. There's a veritable game of eyebrow charades going on between the three of us. None of us know what to say or how to break the silence, but we all know that someone has to. I'm relieved that I have the two of them to rely on here, though. They had to experience a disaster that the festival was too. And yet they're still fighting through their emotions to try and keep the club together. Don't try to tell me that it's all over. Like, I just started the Natsuki route, and then the club just disbands. Aww. The only sounds right now are the small, sniffling noises coming from Natsuki. The longer the silence stretches, the harder it is going to be to break it. Somehow the three of us managed to soundlessly decide that it should be me to speak up. But before I can do so, we're surprised by Monika finally interrupting the silence with a sigh. Okay. At least she's calm now. I shouldn't have said that. I was looking back on what I said and well, if someone had said those things about me, I'd be upset to say the least. The pressure just finally broke me, I guess. I really do have tons of things going on in my life. But that doesn't excuse my actions. I shouldn't assume things about your lives and I have no idea what struggles you're going through either. I don't expect you to forgive me anytime soon, but just know that I'm sorry. Monika is still turned away, but Saya shoots me a hopeful look. I think it's safe to say that words were said that no one really intended. Tensions were obviously running high after the disaster that the festival turned out to be, and I guess everything just boiled over in the argument. I agree. It just goes to show how much we all care about the club and each other. If you didn't care, you wouldn't be feeling so horrible. Monika, you're really good at organizing these kinds of things, so I can really say why you wanted it to succeed the way you did. It's only normal. But you have to remember that we all choose to come here for a reason, and that's because we enjoy it here. We really do care. I'm sorry if it seems like we're blaming you for everything going wrong, but it's definitely no one's fault. Monika turns slowly back to face us. But you have to admit that you were kind of harsh to Natsuki. She stops moving, causing Sayuri to speed through her speech. Anyway, I'm so glad that you apologized to Natsuki in the end. Because we're all friends here, and we all need to stick together. We shouldn't be fighting when we hit obstacles. We should be supporting each other. So I hope you can find it in your heart to forgive her, Natsuki. Even though she said some really mean things to you. Please, I don't want to start this shot all gloomy. And hopefully we can move on from this. And become closer than ever. Couldn't have said it better myself. Please, Natsuki. Yes. I believe that the best thing we can do now is to try to forgive each other and learn from this experience. Monika faces us now, turning each of us in the eye. Or looking at each of us in the eye. Natsuki misses her gaze, still looking down at the ground with her tear-streaked cheeks. Hey guys, thank you for being the best members I could wish for. Now that I've thought of it, it really is me who's in the wrong here. As much as I don't want to agree with you, Monika, I guess they do have a point, but still. If this happened in real life, I would take Monika's side. I shouldn't have just accepted that you guys weren't quite as into the festival idea as I was. It was wrong of me to push you into something you weren't comfortable with. Well, it's all said and done now, so no use crying over spilled milk, right? No. A good president would have pressured her people into doing this. Looking back, how would I have been so selfish and blind? Everybody has momentary lapses of judgment, and you shouldn't blame yourself for that, Monika. I'm with Yuri on that. After all, you made this lovely club for all of us, and we really owe it to you for that. And Natsuki, I'm truly sorry for what I said. I was just jumping to conclusions and making false assumptions. Plus, we're all your friends, although I wouldn't blame you if you wouldn't want to call me a friend anymore. We all await the bated breath for Natsuki's answer. Exchanged nervous glances at Yuri and Sayori, the latter of the two actually looking like she's holding her breath. Oh no, she's furious. Natsuki quickly wipes off her tears with her sleeves. She looks smaller than ever and so alone. It makes me want to protect her even more than ever. Whatever. It's fine. The only thing I ask. She looks at the floor and then to her right and then the ceiling. It's as if she's hoping for the right words to appear in front of her. Okay. At least she wants peace. The only thing I want for us is to stop fighting. I come to this club to get away from all that junk, and I don't want things to be ruined. So yeah, if it makes things go back to normal, I'll forgive you. Sayori gives a little hop in excitement when Natsuki says that, and I can't help but sigh in relief as well. Yeah, I thought something bad would really happen, but thank goodness everything's okay. Monika smiles gently at Natsuki, who finally meets her eyes. Thank you for putting the club above your own feelings, Natsuki. I don't think I'm wrong in saying that we all appreciate it. You guys should hug it out. Yeah, please hug. I get that it must have taken a lot to say that, so I'm truly grateful for that. Aww. No. She flinches away. Monika reaches out to hug Natsuki, but the smaller girl flinches away. I'm sorry. I should have known that it would be too soon. No, well, it's fine. Natsuki makes an attempt at smiling at Monika. It may take some time for reconciliation to be finished with, but I'm happy that everyone is trying their best. Yeah, reconsideration can take a long time. No, that's not quite right. Well, close enough. And with that, the spell holding us all in place seems unbroken. Anyway, any of you guys staying to check out the rest of the festival? I'm feeling quite exhausted after all the emotional stress we've just had to endure. Me too. All I want to do now is take a long nap. Same here, honestly. Instead of to clean up the classroom, though, we all grimly turn to face the mess that the visitors have left behind. I I'm not looking forward to cleaning that up. Well, do we have to? Sayori, you don't want to betray our club advices just now, do you? Why you're always right, Yuri? Ah, thank goodness. Natsuki, with even Natsuki betraying a smile on her face, everyone chuckles a bit. I'm sure it's less work than it looks, so I think that it's fine if some of us leave early. Hey Midas, how about you walk Natsuki home for a change? I'm sure that Sayori's sick of your company by now. That's very dark of you to say, Monika. It's sweet of Monika to let Natsuki off the hook like that, and in such a casual way too. This way it doesn't look like she's babying her or anything. Hey, no fair, I wanna go home too. Sayori pretends to pat a bit but quickly regains a smile on her face. Come on guys, the faster we get to work, the faster we'll get to go home. After exchanging goodbyes, I walk out of the classroom with Natsuki. It's surreal to hear the sounds of chatter and laughter floating towards us from the rest of the festival after everything that just took place. So we're walking home with Natsuki now. A silence falls upon us. I'm not quite sure whether I should try to cheer her up or just leave her alone with her thoughts. I spot a vending machine at the end of the hall and decide on the former. Here, you want a snack? A little sugar always cheers me up when I feel down. Sure, I guess. What do you want? It doesn't really matter, but chocolate's pretty good. I approach the vending machine, digging the change out of my pockets. Within a few moments, a solid thunk sounds from the bottom of the machine. I handed the bar of chocolate. I just picked one of my favorites, so I hope we have similar tastes. White chocolate. Not bad. That's the best chocolate! Does it mean she likes it? I watch as she carefully places the snack into her bag. You're not gonna eat it? My question seems to start on Natsuki. And I feel a little bad that she jumps a bit. I guess she's still feeling a little shaky. And why is she angry? No, I kinda want to savor things in my own time. Not a bad idea. I tend to blow through snacks and stuff myself. I guess I like to try to make things last as long as possible. That's pretty understandable. With that, another silence falls upon us, but this time it's a comfortable silence. We walk together side by side in the bubble of companionship that seems to include just the two of us, and that makes the festival a distant reality. It isn't until we reach the school entrance that I break the silence again. Which way you headed? I'm going that way. I point to my left, causing Natsuki to give me a wry smile. I'm in the opposite direction. Well, guess I'll see you tomorrow then. Midas? Yeah? It's okay if I keep coming to the club, right? What do you mean? Of course you can. I mean, we're all going to be expecting you back there. Never mind. See ya. At that, she whirls around and darts away, leaving behind nothing but confusion in the air. Exactly. Like, why? What does that mean? Wait, did I read that right? Of course, okay if I keep coming to the club. And I guess I'll ask her about it tomorrow, but for now it's time to make the trek home. Although now that I think about it, there's nothing for me back home except anime and video games. I'll probably spend the night stewing over the question then. Morning already? I groan as I fumble for the alarm clock. Man, I just feel like sinking into the depths of my bed. Is it natural to feel this tired after waking up? Time anyway. 10:30. Holy crap! I've already pretty much missed the whole first two classes. Should I even go to school today, or should I just cut my losses and skip? Fierce battle rages within my mind as I lay there. But after a beat, I leap out of bed and begin throwing on my uniform. I don't even want to go to school, but I strangely feel compelled to stick to my everyday routine. Guess mom really trained me well. I wonder what our mom will think when she sees Natsuki. No time to eat breakfast today. To be honest, I'm too lazy to cook anything anyway. It's 10:39 AM now. I'm making good time. Hang on. It's Saturday. As the realization hits me, all the nervous tension drains out of my body, leaving me slouched over and exhausted. Now that I'm already out of bed, I might as well do something productive today. Although I'll have to get changed into my normal clothes first. At least there's no school to get through today, although unfortunately the Leisure Club is still feeling the effects of the festival. Thankfully, the awkward atmosphere is only subtle, but even I, a newbie, can see that everyone's been treading on eggshells. I really do hope things can eventually get back to normal, but at this rate, I could easily see everyone drifting apart. Especially after that argument with Monika. God, I'm very worried. No, Natsuki hasn't spoken to me about things yet either. I meant to talk to her about the festival argument the day after, but I just couldn't figure out a way to confront her about it. It's probably just me being too reluctant to bring things up, but I never really found the right time to talk. I should get out of the house for once. Stop thinking about these things. It'll be a nice change of pace from staying on my computer all day. Gotta get rid of that pasty, pale complexion. At least the weather isn't bad today. It's a regular sunny day. Not too hot and not too cold. It's just me, my bag, and Natsuki. Wherever she may be. Come to think of it, I don't even know where I'm headed to. But if I want to be productive today, the library is probably my best bet. The closest one also happens to be near school, so I might even see some people I know there. Hopefully I can get some work done, but knowing me, I'll most likely procrastinate anyway. The refreshingly cool air sends shivers up my spine as I step inside. It seems to be a bit of a slow day for the librarians. Well, most people are probably out enjoying the sunny day instead of wasting any indoors. I shrugged to myself. Knowledge is power, right? While everyone else spent their days frolicking outside, I studied the books. To be honest though, I haven't studied for my exams yet at all. Every time I try, my mind wanders back to the festival. Coming here was the right choice. If I was trying to work at home like usual, I'd just get in a bad mood and slack off again. Hell, I can't help but think about it now. I wonder how everyone else is doing. Maybe I'll try to ask about it again during the club meeting. As I scanned for the empty tables for the optimal sitting position, I spot a familiar white ribbon perched atop a ponytail. I'd have expected that Monika would be out with her friends, but then again, she is an honor student. Well, even honor students, like, they deserve some rest. Hey, Monika. Hello, Midas. She smiles and is just as polite as ever, but it doesn't seem like she's very talkative at the moment. I didn't expect to see you at the library. Well, I had to study, but I didn't think I'd be able to get anything done at home. Is that so? I may not be the most observant guy around, but she seems like she wants to be alone. Way to go, me. Anyway, I'll see you later. Bye. Well, that could have gone much worse. It was like talking to a brick wall. To be honest, I'm not sure if she's actually being frosty, or I'm just overthinking it. Although she might just be busy studying right now, in which case I probably shouldn't bother her anymore. Suddenly, I don't feel like studying. But since I'm here, I might as... Maybe I should do some reading. I pull out Portrait of Markov out of my bag. I quickly flip to where I left off. Wait, why Portrait of Markov? Okay. My mind, like, I kind of short-circuited there. I was wondering, why Portrait of Markov? Didn't we ask Natsuki? Didn't we ask Natsuki for book recommendations? But then again, I guess Yuri gave us Portrait of Markov. I can't help but feel the itch to read manga in the back of my mind. It's like an addiction at this point. I can't help but prefer manga to prose novels. And I'm in the middle of a chapter where I feel a light tap on my shoulder. Oh, hey Natsuki. What's up? Not much, just doing some reading. Huh. Half expected you to be at home playing video games, and what's the other half? That's my plan for tomorrow. Natsuki chuckles. Now, what are you doing here? Oh, I was just checking this out. Natsuki holds up the novel she has in her hands. Red Autumn Ride. Hey, I used to read that. Really? Yeah, I actually have the first couple of volumes at home. Well, this is only the first one. Actually, you wanna borrow my manga then after you're done? I mean, I don't think you really need to do that since I can just go to the library. Well, suit yourself. But it is more convenient to do that because I won't have to walk all the way here. So, you know what? Just text me when you need one. Yeah, I mean, if that is what you want to do. Wanna sit down? Fine. I wanna get this started anyway. Natsuki takes a seat next to me and we both start reading our respective books. I occasionally look over to see where Natsuki is in the volume. I vaguely remember what happens in the series, but seeing it again, the memories start coming back. What are you looking at? Natsuki's voice suddenly snaps me out of my thoughts. Nothing. I go back to Portrait of Markov. Out of the corner of my eye, I notice Natsuki peeking at me, calling me out for peeking when she peeks at me. A bit hypocritical, don't you think? You know, I'm actually kind of thirsty. And here we go. We're gonna quit reading for now. I'm gonna go grab a drink. Want anything? Yeah, can I get a... Actually, you'll probably just end up getting me the wrong one. I'll come with you. Alright. The vending machine. Home to some of life's greatest choices. Eventually, I settled on a lemon lime soda. Although my decision was fairly quick, the same can be said for Natsuki, who somehow looks both irritated and thoughtful at the same time. You look like someone who's trying to choose a house to buy, you know. Big decision, isn't it? Shut up. I chuckle a bit as Natsuki continues to look. You know, when you said I would end up getting the wrong one, I thought that you meant you knew what you wanted. Well, they don't know what I wanted here, okay? Jeez. The saying this outburst was unexpected would be a bit of an understatement. Instinct tells me I should apologize even though I don't really think I was that rude. I'm... sorry? Natsuki gives me a slightly flustered look. It's fine, although I am paying for it, so I think I have some sort of right to tease. Natsuki huffs and turns back to the machine. Her eyes dart back and forth a bit before she sighs. Okay, I'll just take this one because I really don't care. I just want to read. Then why did you... Okay. Natsuki presses some buttons and her soda drops out of the bottom of the machine. Drinks in hand, we make our way back to the table. Or at least we would, if there weren't some other students sitting at our table. It's a boy and a girl, and based on how the guy has his arm around the girl, definitely dating. What are they doing here? Natsuki quickly mouths her question to me. No idea. I take my seat and pop off the tab of my soda. After taking a swig, I return to Portrait of Markov. The eye on the cover stares ominously back at me. A chill runs down my spine, and I can't help but feel uneasy. Maybe I should have read some manga like usual. I look over at Natsuki and her own manga. Natsuki sits with her legs crossed, holding her volume up by her face. There's an awkwardness in the air that keeps distracting me despite my attempts at ignoring it. I sneak glances over to the couple. They're both reading out some large book, possibly a textbook. Not exactly my idea of a date, but hey, whatever works. We're just about to ignore them and carry on reading until the girl's voice rings out. Hey, I think I've seen you guys before! Okay, you're from our school? We both look up at her. Although she claims to recognize us, I don't think I've seen her before. Oh. Oh no. Oh no. That wasn't what you guys held, for poetry thing? Natsuki's eyes look of Natsuki's look of anger swiftly prompts me to respond. Alright. What exactly have I meant to say here? Talk about an awkward situation. You guys make a cute couple. At least it wasn't about the festival, or else I would be very worried about what Natsuki was about to say. She smiles sweetly. That came out of nowhere. I mean, they're just strangers, and then they just come up to us and say, "Hey, you guys look cute." Like, who wouldn't be disturbed by that? No way, we're just friends. Jeez. They both chuckle, seeing Natsuki so flustered. Aw, shame. You'd make a cute couple. The girl cuts Natsuki off. Okay, babe, we should get going. Guy nods and packs up the book. They both quickly head out of the door, leaving Natsuki and I bewildered. I look over at her. She has an expression that's half confusion and half embarrassment. Well, that just happened. Yeah, even with that gone, the awkward feeling in the air remains. But at least it's easier to focus now. I believe that's wrong. I try and pick off where I stopped. After a couple of minutes of reading, I start getting into my book, and the embarrassment begins to fade away. The outside world starts to drown, as I become more and more invested in the story. I stay like this until the first chapter, to which I finally come back to reality. Closing the volume, I look up at Natsuki, equally invested in the manga she's reading. Almost done, just a couple of pages. Looks like you're pretty invested. It's alright, the characters aren't really that likable so far. Yeah, I don't remember liking any of them when I started it too. At least some of them do the right things when it counts. Hey, that wasn't exactly a spoiler. Sorry, that kinda just slipped out. Anyway, you still want the second volume? Sure. Alright, I'll bring it on Monday. I don't get how you could prefer that creepy book Yuri gave you over manga. Power Fairy Girls is probably way more interesting. Well, I can't deny that it's creepy, but you should give it a shot. It's actually pretty intriguing. I'll pass. I don't like horror, so... How about this? I'll read Parfait Girls if you read Portrait Mar. Okay! This is a bargain. I'm interested what'll happen. I don't know. Maybe. Natsuki glances at the clock. I gotta go. Alright. See you on Monday, Natsuki. Yeah. Bye. Natsuki puts the volume in her bag and heads for the door. As I continue reading my book, I can't help but crack a smile at the thought of sharing my manga with her on Monday.